Billionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
A poor man prayers,
every man bleeds.
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. Yeah, I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again.
Under the Fair Use Act, these videos are for information and educational purposes, and I do not own the rights to any of these videos that are shown. All rights reserved to the original content creators.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy SL550, and this is the Never Gonna Lose Again podcast. Before we start, make sure you like, share, comment, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because it costs you nothing. And I appreciate everybody. Yo, boy, got about like 12 subscribers the last 2 days, man. I really appreciated love. Is definitely, without y'all, I ain't got no channel, man. So thanks for helping me build it up. And also hit that notification bell so you get notified every time your boy go live. So today we're going to talk about Brandon Johnson and how he just ruined Chicago, man. And this is pretty much like the same playbook from a lot of these Democrats, politicians pretty much across the board, figuring out ways to tax Americans like we're not taxed enough. I mean, it's actually ridiculous how much Americans get taxed. I mean, hey man, pretty much don't own nothing. You buy a car. Doesn't matter if you finance it, buy it cash. If you don't get that insurance on it, that's a tax. If you don't get it registered, that's a tax. Get the tags on it, it's a tax. You go buy food, you get taxed. You buy a home, you get taxed. And it's like every which way you turn, we get taxed. You know, you got the average American out here working very hard just to see a small portion of the check that's just getting them by, man. It's actually ridiculous. And this is why I say that I fuck with Trump, you know, to a degree, because I know everybody has their, you know, input on tariffs. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a guru on economics, because I'm not. But from just like a layman's perspective, it just looks like he's trying to open up their markets, do fair trade, and make it to where America is profitable off other countries putting goods in our country, and vice versa, because they tax us too. So, and he's basically, what it looks like from my standpoint is, if all goes well with tariffs, then a lot of these taxes that we're getting taxed on can be eliminated, and we can end up ultimately paying just one tax. Like why do we got to get taxed for everything? It's actually insane, bro. And then we're gonna tap in with Brandon Lee with that one. Then we're gonna go to Brian Maxwell. He's gonna talk about Gavin Newsom, another Democrat ruining his state, and I'm talking about he is ruining California. California. I never been to California, but I heard it's beautiful. I have family that moved out there like 15 years ago. They stayed and never came back. Even with all the stuff that's going on now, they still out there. So it's obviously it's got its benefits for sure. But from what I've been hearing, bro, it's absolutely crazy in California, bro. Just, it's all about the money, man. Them just taking our money, just blowing it on any and everything they can so they can do some backdoor deal to put money in their pockets, bro. We're going to go over that with Brian Maxwell. And actually, we're going to go over that last. Before that, we're going to tap in with Matt Morris going on about Trump giving farmers $12 billion from, allegedly it's from tariff money. That's what Trump said. He said he's taking $12 billion from the money that he's received from tariffs and giving it to farmers. I guess farmers been taking a big hit, and he's, you know, obviously farmers are a big, you know, farmers are very important. So, you know, he's trying to make sure the farmers are good. So let's get to this first story with Brandon Johnson going over what's going on in Chicago with Brandon Johnson, bro.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson literally broke down in tears crying after being humiliated by his own party. Brandon Johnson is now so unpopular after raising property taxes by 100% that even the Democrat city council members have officially turned on him. As always, like the video and subscribe to the channel. This is an amazing one, but let's start with the literal mayor of Chicago crying in public.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson shedding some crocodile tears today after his beloved corporate head tax proposal got nixed from the city council's alternative budget proposal.
There are lines of Chicagoans right now of people who do not have food, you guys. And if you've never gone hungry, you wouldn't know why I have that urgency.
Yeah.
If you've never opened up your refrigerator and there's nothing in it.
This is crazy.
The poverty sucks.
Bro. Why he acting like he living in poverty? Yo, Brandon Johnson is a fool, bro. This dude is crazy, bro. And listen, this is the part that I think I mean, I know a lot of people understand because I've seen multiple videos. I've actually played videos of residents from Chicago literally cursing this dude out, coming at his shit, talking about all the taxes that he's, put on the people, and he's gonna go over it in this video. I'm not sure if it's in this video or not. Yeah, in this video he gonna go over how he keeps saying how they always say how they're gonna tax the rich. They're going to tax the millionaires and the billionaires. It's a talking point. It's a talking point because they know that the millionaire and billionaires already pay 50% of all taxes. But it's a talking point. It sounds good. But really what happens is they do this. It crushes small businesses, right? And the big corporations, they just leave. So now you don't got no businesses in your state that's gonna boost the economy, right? So now when that burden can't shift to these to the billionaires and the millionaires, then it shifts to the middle class. And that's what it's doing. That's what it's doing in Chicago. And this is why they're bitching so much, because he's trying to raise property tax, all of these different taxes. It's crazy.
Corporations are making a killing right now, and we have alders that are more interested in defending these big corporations than families like mine who went without food and electricity and could not afford rent and mortgage.
Bro, where's the tears? Where's the actual tears? Like, yo, these Democrats, nothing but theater, bro. It's all theater. It's all politics. Play on your emotions and hope that it catches. Hope that it sticks. That's it. Straight clown.
Give me something I can work with.
That is the most shameful
he said, give me something I can work with. Yo, they're desperate, bro. They're desperate. They've been robbing you for so long, right, that they got comfortable robbing us. They got comfortable robbing us to the point where they're looking like, bro, what? The audacity of you not to let us rob you anymore? And this is why they hate Trump, bro. It's why I'm just going to keep saying it, because every time you turn around, you see these fraud stories, right, where somewhere in these Democratic states, mostly, it's fraud going on in these Republican states too. Don't get it fucked up. But this fraud is outrageous in these Democratic states because they're the ones that's holding on to these illegal immigrants. You know what I mean? That's the safe haven for illegal immigrants. So they got all of this money, right? These federal dollars, taxpayer money, our money, going to illegal immigrants around the board, housing, food, all of that stuff. And then, they're taking more money with these taxes. And then they're not even doing, like Gavin Newsom, these so-called projects and stuff that they claim that they're doing, right? Oh, we're gonna boost the education. Kids is dumber than ever. Dumber than ever, bro. We're like so far down the list of education. But we got billions of dollars going to these things, to these budgets. And this is why Trump is saying we need to get rid of it. We need to get rid of it. Because this is the thing, right? And you've seen this with the Department of Education. I've heard Trump say it on this, and I've seen him also say it on the subsidies, the Obamacare, saying, no, I don't want to give the money to the Board of Education. I want to give this money directly to the schools. I want to give this money directly to the people so they can buy their own health care and not give it to these big corporations who are winning in this situation. So it's small stuff like that I see, and I'm like, that sounds like Trump is for the people. The stuff that these people are talking about, it doesn't benefit us. It benefits the millionaires and the billionaires. Remember, projection is real, bro. This is what they're the best at, projection.
Humiliating thing I've ever seen from another grown man. Brandon Johnson is trying to ruin Chicago by taxing all of the businesses out of the city. The city council rightfully stopped his disastrous plan, and then he gives us the worst fake crying performance in history to appear sympathetic and try to pretend that he was just doing it to help out poor people, guys. The poverty sucks. The corporations aren't paying their share. Smash the like button if you enjoyed that. I thought it was hilarious. But the city of Chicago is running at a $1 billion deficit, and to try and solve the problem, the city hired a consulting agency, which found enough non-disruptive cuts that could take the city out of its $1 billion deficit and put it in a $400 million surplus. But Brandon Johnson refused. He also refused to stop giving free welfare to the city's over 100,000 illegal aliens. And in his disastrous elementary school quality theatric performance, he tried to make it seem like he was taxing corporations to help put food on the table for poor people. But he's not. He wants to spend that money on a violence prevention program where they hire ex-cons to prevent violence in the black community. A program that's already failed so badly that we saw a man who was wanted in 6 different states standing next to the governor of Illinois, who touted him as a valuable community asset. And all of this abject, undefensible stupidity has caused the Democrat city council to turn against Brandon Johnson. And here is one of those city council members absolutely destroying him. Grab your popcorn and watch this.
This is an issue, guys, of how do you perform the best in order to sell the worst policy possible that's going to shift the burden of taxation away from downtown as you continue to chase businesses out and put it on the property owners, the homeowners of the city of Chicago, who are already seeing a 16% increase in their property taxes thanks to his policies that have chased businesses out of this city. What the mayor doesn't tell people while he's tearing up for the cameras is that just last year he tried to stick homeowners with a $300 million property tax increase, as well as hundreds of millions of dollars in new fines and fees. He's doing it again this year, but in order for him to make that campaign pledge that he wants to tax the rich, this is the performance we get. It has nothing to do with helping everyday Chicagoans, because he had none of these tears when he was giving away $600 million to take care of 60,000 Venezuelan migrants here in the city of Chicago.
Also, just for the folks at home, you've got a D next to your name. So
It's a Democrat, bro. This is a Democrat digging in this nigga, bro. Pause, bro. A Democrat is giving you the real about this guy, Brandon Johnson, bro. Like, just look at this. Chicago mayor proposes $600 million in new taxes. Like, what is this? A cloud tax? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is a cloud tax? Hold on, I gotta look that up. Rideshare tax, corporate head tax, social media tax, online sporting betting tax. Bro, yacht mooring fees. Yo, this dude is crazy, bro. I gotta look at this cloud tax. That looks crazy.
you're a Democrat. You're in the same party as the mayor here. Raymond, so Seattle tried and then repealed a similar head tax in 2018 because guess what? Companies like Amazon threatened to withhold expansion. Why does he think Chicago would be any different?
You know, it's very interesting for me personally to hear Mayor Johnson talk about all of these failed policies as though they are somehow going to magically work simply because we have Lake Michigan right behind us. They are not going to work. We know what we need to do if we want to lessen the tax burden on working families is that we need to grow the economy. We need to invite businesses back. We need to put people to work. And his $21 a person head tax, while it sounds low, will cost company millions. Take, for example, our local grocer, N.G.L.A. hires 35,000 people here in the city of Chicago. They would have to pay $7 million a year just for the purposes of putting people to work. I doubt they would stay just because of that.
Yeah, it's that.
They out of control. It says a Chicago cloud tax is a common name for a component of the city's existing personal property lease transaction tax, a PPLTT tax that applies to the use of cloud computing services and software as a service within Chicago, whatever the fuck that means. 11% of the gross receipt from Chicago's customers. A proposed increase to 14% is included in the mayor's 2026 budget proposal. So it's just like every year this dude is just going up and going up and going up. This is crazy, bro. I wonder why them people in Chicago don't like him.
Bad. But he said one thing that highlights the true problem of Mayor Brandon Johnson, above all of his other very many and severe problems. The city needs growth, but growth requires capitalism. And Mayor Brandon Johnson is a devout socialist. We spent all this time talking about Zohran Mamdani because he was a foreign socialist, but Brandon Johnson is arguably the scariest and most ideologically radical out of all of them. He called for a general strike to shut down the entire economy at the No Kings protest. Literally every single person, the Democrat city council members, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, all disagreed with his tax proposal. The only group that proudly endorsed it was Brandon Johnson's very own Chicago Teachers Union, which is, if you're unfamiliar, a literal Marxist activist organization in charge of teaching the kids of Chicago. And you wonder why they spend more money per pupil than anywhere in America, yet none of the kids can read, write, or do math. Brandon Johnson has 100 different ways he could balance the city's finances, but he rejected all of them and pushed forward vehemently with the one plan that would take more money from businesses and rich people. And his explanation was because he feels he's entitled to it. He's repeatedly explained he's not looking to spend money effectively or efficiently or even in a way that yields some sort of positive benefit. He just wants government to be in charge of everything, and he's going to make it happen. And because of his anti-business policies and unwavering commitment to illegal aliens, he's run cities out of Chicago, which has lowered taxes, and kept every illegal on welfare, which raised costs. And to pay for all this, he doubled property taxes in the black neighborhoods in Chicago. Take a look at what the county treasurer said.
Well, hold on. She's about to explain to you how this dude is just a fraud, bro. They're frauds. Straight frauds. Claiming they care about you. They care about the poor. They care about the middle class. Listen to this, bro. This is crazy right
This bill. This is somebody whose bill in South Chicago went from $1,800 rather to $3,900. And here it shows you on the bill, where does your money go? It tells you whether or not your bill went up or down based upon a particular agency. And you see here the Board of Education is approximately 60% of the bill. So you don't have to pay this bill on December 15th. You can pay it over a 13-month period of time, a payment plan with 9% interest. You want to wonder why these bills for the residences, in particular, look at this. These were the hardest hit. The hardest hit were West Garfield Park, which is up 133%, North Lawndale, which is up 99%, and Englewood, which is up 82%. Let me show you the Englewood bill. Here, this person, it was $988. It's gone up to $2,300.
Oh my goodness. But how is that possible when we're talking about neighborhoods that have a median income of $20,000 or $30,000?
It's possible It's possible when the city council votes on improvements, and those improvements include something that allows the entire group of residences and commercial buildings to pay more.
So not only did they double,
like my thing is, what improvements, bro? This is what they do. They'll throw they'll get on the street and start paving shit, making it look like they doing something. And now my motherfucking shit go up. Yo, bro, these people don't do nothing but rob us, bro. Yo, the government is out of control, bro, at this point, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. It's out of control, bro. All of this money, she said $900 and some to $2,300. And this is in a rough neighborhood. This ain't in the suburbs.
the property taxes in predominantly black areas, but if you can't afford it, too bad. Now you're forced to get a 9% interest rate government loan or else they'll seize your house. And all this from Brandon Johnson, who constantly complains about racism, who claims Donald Trump and white supremacy are harming black people, who claims that he's a black supremacist, he stands with black people, loves black people, fights for black people, but loves illegal aliens so much more that he's forcing the already struggling black community to pay for them to get free welfare. In that same interview, the treasurer says that the suburbs of Chicago got hit with modest 10-11% property tax increases, which is still a ton, but certainly not as crippling as what Brandon Johnson did to the group of people he claims he's specifically and exclusively trying to help. Tomorrow, I'm going to be dropping a video covering the entire interview with that treasurer because, guys, she spills all of the beans on Brandon Johnson. She exposes all of his corruption and dysfunction and reveals that the city of Chicago is on the verge of collapse and destruction. So make sure.
That's crazy, man. Shout out to Brandon Lamb, bro, bringing the best news, man. Yo, this is crazy, bro. This is. Hey, man. I'm gonna keep saying it, bro. That's all they care about. It's all you see. That's all you hear. It's all about they complaining about the Obama tax credits or whatever, the ACA subsidies. Going straight to the insurance companies. Billionaires, millionaires. It's going straight to them. Them dollars are not touching the people. I just had not even a debate, because a lot of people, bro, and I don't claim to know it all at all. I don't, right? I be learning just like everybody else. But I've seen people talk about Donald Trump, right? They make these claims, can't back them up. And then they truly think, this is how blind, and this is how I know, I see it firsthand, that people are truly blind, deaf, and maybe some are a little dumb. Because even small things like the shutdown, they blame Donald Trump. Like somebody recently just was arguing with me, oh, Donald Trump was the reason. And I'm like, it's 60 votes. Did you know it was 60 votes? You know, Democrats voted no every time. They don't know. Because like I said, bro, the average person doesn't care about politics. They don't care. They really, truly don't care. People act like they do, but they really don't. You know, and I don't blame them. You know, people just care about paying their bills, bro. Paying their bills, being able to save some money, live life, bro. That's it. Nobody care about all this extra stuff. But the fact of the matter is, we need to start caring, because look at what they're doing. Look at what they're doing, bro. This is going on everywhere, especially in Democratic states, especially with most of them being sanctuary cities, where they got a lot of illegal immigrants there taking up resources. This is crazy, bro.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
a poor man prayers.
Every man bleeds,
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. Yeah, I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again.